Good afternoon. My name is Toby Ripper. I'm a businessman who travels the world on business. Today my business takes me to this rather exclusive luxury island resort where I'm enjoying a Diet Coke with a twist of lime. As you may or may not have realized, I have a lot of downtime while I'm waiting to make the perfect killing in business. I spend that time contemplating bits and pieces of information that come to my attention. Take a rather interesting video that somehow found its way onto my Twitter feed. Statement accompanying the video is rather melodramatically presented. This is what fascism looks like, it says with all the naive confidence of one who has never seen fascism. Semantics about political ideologies aside, the meaning of the writer is made clear as the video plays. Fair warning to those who seek out this video. You may find it disturbing. It begins by stating that a particular woman, who shall remain nameless, in Boulder, Colorado, was arrested for smoking in a non-smoking area and having her dog off its leash. While arrested, she was subdued and tased. As the video proceeds, it becomes apparent that the first statement was a bit misleading. She was not arrested for smoking, nor for having her dog off its leash. Instead, she was arrested for refusing to sign a summons to court to answer for the tickets she received. As the video continues, we see the reason for the subduing and tasing. Several officers are gathered around her detention room. They state that she has made suicidal statements, which 4 officers heard. As such, she has 2 options. Either be put under a suicide watch or be strapped down in a chair. She claims she never made such a statement and demands to be taken to a hospital. She's told that's not an option. And this goes on for a bit. After this goes on for a bit, an officer makes the decision to bring her out and confines her to the chair. She sees that the officer has a taser and asked if he was going to tase her. The officer indicates that if she doesn't cooperate, he will. They cuff her arms behind her back and get her into the chair. She struggles the entire way. She's still struggling as they start to strap her down and the officer tases her. Another officer holds her by the head, one hand on either side, to keep her from biting or hurting herself, as medical professionals do. She says she's being held by the neck. She states that she's cooperating but continues to struggle and is tased again. The video ends after she is completely strapped in. Throughout the video, she has been belligerent, at times to the point of being abusive, towards the police officers. Now, the meaning of the statement on fascism becomes clear. The police have overstepped their authority. We cannot tolerate this behavior in society. At first glance, this seems to be correct, but let's look deeper. While I look good in the uniform, I'm not a police officer. I do know many police officers. As such, I know how they think. It's difficult to put the responsibility for the situation on anyone other than the woman. By smoking and having her dog off its leash, she was in violation of the law. Typical punishment for this is a ticket and a fine. The woman wasn't arrested for this. She was arrested for refusing to sign the court summons. It's here that my knowledge of police officers helped me to understand what happened. There is no police officer, even the most corrupt and cruel, who would want to arrest the woman for this. That is because arresting someone, especially for such a menial violation, is a massive pain in the keister. Not only is there more work required, there is a massive amount of paperwork created by the arrest, and the possibility that the police officer would have to repeat the story and explain his actions over and over again to an inquiry board. That being understood, the officer would not arrest the woman unless there was absolutely no choice but to arrest her. In regards to the suicide threat, she claims to never have made it. 4 officers said she did. Once again, my knowledge of police officers helps here. If you or I heard someone say something like, "I wish I were dead," we have the option of presuming they weren't being serious. If a person is in police custody, however, the police officers involved do not have the same option. They have to presume it was a serious statement and proceed accordingly. It is illegal for them to do otherwise. It is here that I find the possibility of the police having done something wrong. The woman requests being sent to the hospital. This usually is an option in most places. It could be that the policy in Boulder is different, or the hospital required more than a threat of suicide to receive prisoners. Without knowing more, it's possible to say if there was any wrongdoing here. As for subduing her, the officers appeared to follow typical procedures in such cases. The holding of the head and the strapping down of the woman is to be expected, and a similar approach would be the case if she were in a hospital. The only difference is that a sedative would have been administered in the hospital. The only question from this point on is whether tasing the woman was justified or not. An argument can be made either way, and would probably have to be settled in court. The conclusion I'm forced to reach is that the police officers were in the right, with the two possible exceptions that I've stated. Several points, the woman could have ended the problem. She chose to be belligerent and disregard the laws of the land that she lives in. Time has now caught up with me. The Diet Coke with a twist of lime is finished, and I have business.